I've said this to some of you in some of the PA coffees that we've had, that we, as we work with you, we hope that you will never lose sleep at night working with us. And we understand the relationships you have with your clients and the people you work with. And if you're referring people to us, we don't want you to worry about that. We want you to feel that we're going to treat your clients as you would have them treated. And I want to make sure that we do that as an organization so that when it's right for you to bring somebody to us, you know they're going to get a wraparound of services and support and get every ounce of joy out of their philanthropy that they want and that you want them to have, and every possible benefit from using the Arizona Community Foundation to help them to do that. And I would say to all of you, as I've said to others, you please let us know what you need from us so that we can make sure that happens. And if we're not meeting your standards and expectations, we want to know, and I certainly want to know, because we cannot play this critical role in this community for you and your businesses and with the donors that you represent unless we can meet your standards. And that's what we're anxious to do. I will tell you, I would probably change the name of this, Kim. The biggest, what is it? Best bang for the buck. I'll tell you why. I don't mean to go in this direction, but I have to tell you a true story. You know where that phrase came from? Well, I happened to be in a meeting and somebody used getting the biggest bang for the buck, and a very angry person stood up and said, do you know where that phrase comes from? And all of us in the room were frozen. We've been using it, since we were born, and nobody knew. Does anybody know where that comes from? Well, it's what they used to say about prostitution in the old days. So when I saw the title, I saw, it's true, this is true. When I saw the title, when you're new in an organization, do you just pick on everything your staff does? Do you let some things go? And the invites had already gone out, so I decided, I'm an old teacher, right? So I just had to do a history lesson. And since we are out in the Wild West, I understand the expression kind of started in Tucson, I believe. But I can say that in Phoenix. I can't. And when I go down to Tucson, I say it started in Phoenix.
That might be a safe choice.
But anyway, philanthropy is about leverage, and it is about no $1 of philanthropy will ever be enough to change the key social conditions we face in the community. But philanthropy smartly invested, philanthropy leveraged with public money, with other philanthropy, can make an enormous difference in the lives of people. And for every donor's dollar, by being smart about how it's invested, can be leveraged with other donors' dollars so that each individual donor gets much greater lift off of what they want to do and that they can produce the social outcomes that they need. I'm getting my cue off. So I would say to you, one of the things we do want to do is think creatively about how we can maximize it and maximize their philanthropy and maximize their investments with us. So I am thrilled that you're here. I look forward to working with you, meeting many more of you individually. Very honored to be part of this community and part of your community. And my door is open, and I'm anxious over time. I'll be here all summer. Without socks, I'll be here. I look forward to meeting more of you. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Steve. Tonight was the first time I had a chance to meet Steve, but I've been hearing fantastic things about him, and I think you can see what an open and fantastic person he is, and very open to talking about things, and obviously very experienced and capable. So that's pretty exciting for us here in Arizona. And kind of to echo what Steve just said, the point of the foundation is to help donors be more strategic with their money. And make the biggest impact with their philanthropy. Let's put it that way rather than use the title of my But and I want to introduce to you, with that in mind, Kimberly Kerr, whom I think all of you know, is going to give us some of the nuts and bolts of some of the techniques and things that are done before we get into some of the case studies. And as you know, Kimberly in the Community Foundation is the primary liaison with attorneys, CPAs, insurance agents, financial planners, and so forth. But in addition to that, she's in charge of the planned giving effort, and she's very modest. And I think it's important that you hear. She's a very smart lady who really is active in philanthropy, both locally and beyond that, nationally. And she's also very approachable, just as we can see that Steve is. So I would say don't ever hesitate to just chat with her about anything. That's how conversations get started and go to the next level.
All right, thank you, Connie. Thank you, Steve. You definitely waited to share that piece of information. Anyway, it's really a pleasure. Before I begin with the nuts and bolts, I want to just let you all know how much I enjoy working with each and every one of you, and just want you to know how important and vital you are to the success of the Community Foundation and together the impact that we can make in our community. And I want to thank you for your involvement and support, and I hope you enjoyed today's program. As you can see, we have launched our new website. It's been 2 years in the making, and it just launched this week, so we're really excited. And we'll have to have a whole separate session on the website. But what I'll show you right now is the professional advisor section. And specifically, I'll go down to the advisor resources and show you the download center. Because in this section is where you'll see all these one-page documents that are great for you and to share with clients. And we have many of them on the display table outside of the room. And as we go through the nuts and bolts, if anything sounds interesting, you want to learn more, just know that these are all available to you both on the display table and on our website, and of course I can email them to you anytime as well. So without further ado, we will move on with the nuts and bolts. So first of all, the Arizona Community Foundation's mission is to build a legacy of giving that empowers and aligns philanthropic interests with community needs. To do this, we will always be deserving of the trust of those we serve, encourage the growth of philanthropy, foster a culture of collaboration, and provide expertise in identifying Arizona's philanthropic needs and facilitate giving. Community foundations have 3 special features, which include personalized service, local expertise, and community leadership. First, we educate people on charitable giving vehicles. We customize giving approaches to match personal interests and tax planning needs. We facilitate complex forms of giving, share knowledge of community needs, offer grant-making expertise and administrative services, and create personal legacies via named funds, which we'll get into later, offer involvement in recommending uses of a gift, and provide the option of giving anonymously. We are about creating solutions that fit virtually every situation. ACF has the local expertise to understand community challenges and how best to address them. We are a local organization with a local board and staff with the knowledge of community issues, opportunities, and resources. We monitor all community needs, but right now our initiatives include education reform, affordable housing, strengthening rural Arizona, communities for all ages, philanthropy initiative, Latinos Unidos, youth philanthropy initiative, and civic leadership. And we track the progress of our local agencies and programs and direct grants and resources to the most appropriate areas. As a community leader, we play a key role in addressing community needs now and in the future. As a community catalyst, we bring diverse voices and groups together to address local issues and foster greater giving and volunteering in the community. Our business is building community. To give you just a brief, very brief history of community foundations, the first one was started in 1914 in Cleveland, Ohio. Today there are nearly 700 community foundations serving citizens across the nation with more than $30 billion in assets and in distributing grants to local communities in over $2 billion each year. ACF was founded in 1978, and we, along with our 10 affiliates, are a statewide philanthropy and partnership of donors, staff, volunteers, nonprofit organizations, and the communities working together to improve the quality of life in Arizona. ACF is among the 30 largest community foundations out of 700. We have, as of the fiscal year 2010 close, which was March 31st, $471 million in assets. As Steve mentioned, we have almost 1,000 component funds, including 29 supporting organizations, 120 nonprofit funds, and 84 scholarship funds. Our fiscal year 2010, we granted $37.1 million out to the community, which is, we're really proud of that, especially given the economic times. Our grant making did not stop in any way. And since 1978, we have granted more than $349 million out to the community. We have 30 board members, and our operating expenses are less than 1%. Our year-to-date return in our long-term pool as of April 30th, sorry, this is old, as of April 30th, was 31%. It's only 2 months old. Okay. We have an array of fund options that donors can choose from. But basically, donors can establish a fund in their name, in their family's name, or in the name of any person or organization they wish to honor. And then grants are distributed from that fund and awarded in the name of the fund. The person or organization will always be remembered and linked to the good works in our community. So just to review the various fund types quickly, the funds for the common good are unrestricted funds meeting ever-changing needs in our community. Field of interest funds address needs in a particular area of community life, such as the environment, education, the arts, youth at risk, cancer research, aging. It can be as narrow or as broad as our donors want. Designated funds direct gifts to specific agencies or purposes. And nonprofit endowment funds are funds that are created by the nonprofit organizations themselves to benefit their organizations. Scholarship funds provide educational opportunities for students attending high school or college. Donor advised funds enable our donors to stay actively engaged in the grant making from the funds they establish. And collaborative funds are funds that are created by multiple unrelated donors who recommend grants, typically representing all of the donors. And finally, supporting organizations are for donors who give more than $1 million and they establish a separate charitable entity but borrow our public charity status. This slide shows our assets broken down by fund type. And as you can see, the advised funds and the supporting organizations make up 60% of our total assets, while the funds for the common good are only 4%, with field of interest funds adding another 12%. It is through the funds for the common good and the field of interest funds that we're able to engage in initiatives in the community and operate our competitive grant cycle. And this slide shows our fee structure. Most of our funds have an annual administrative fee of 1%, but the minimum annual fee is $500.